What is going on, my beautiful people? I hope you guys are doing amazing today. In this video, what we are going to be talking about is if you are trying to improve your communication skills, improve as a communicator. And what I'm really going to talk about here for all of us that I think can really help us is being able to communicate into the flow state and being able to enjoy it so much that you want to keep getting back to it. Now, what this really is feeling the flow state in terms of when you are communicating, whether it's on camera or whether it's in person. The flow state is something that you get into where it's literally just feels like you're high on life. It feels like you could just say whatever, you could just do whatever, you're just there, fully present, and it literally feels like, I want you to think like you're on cloud 9, you're literally elevated above the freaking clouds, and it's just like you want to scream, you want to yell. It's kind of like how I feel right now, man. And it's so amazing because that is something that where we can gauge that, and you can continue to get to that feeling, not only when you are talking with somebody, but also it's a feeling that you get to in your everyday life. But here's what I want us to think about. Using that as a kind of like a metric for what we are trying to get to. You're trying to get into that flow state and continue to do that. And how we do that is by detaching, by letting go and letting God, by allowing God to flow through us. Now, once we realize that, we realize how much we really think, how much our ego is freaking screaming whenever you're trying to talk, whenever you're trying to do like a little video like this too. And it's crazy because what I've realized is that I will go into like talking with somebody, and I've realized like, oh damn, I really am focusing too much on like how I'm looking right now or what I'm about to say. And it's amazing to really like kind of catch that and to allow yourself to try to get out of that ego. It's powerful because it starts to make you a better person, but also it makes you a better communicator and connector with people. Once you start to get out of your ego, once you start to get into the flow state and just being able to be there with somebody and connect with them. But the thing is, it's not going to be the easiest thing to try to get into the flow state over and over. Like even yesterday, it was a completely different video recording because I was a little bit tired, I wasn't fully there, and I didn't feel as much in the flow as I do right now. But that's powerful because now I can catch it, and I knew I wasn't there yesterday, didn't beat myself up over it, and I knew what I was doing wrong. I was focusing too much on the fact that I was tired, that it took me out of the flow state because I was like, oh, I'm so tired, I kind of just like, I'm just gonna record them today. And now today it's different, and the next time that I feel that, I'm already prepared to try to get myself into that flow state despite being tired. But here's the thing, this dude Owen Cook, who is amazing at this, talks about how, you know, we have to improve at being able to, there's so many things we have to improve about our communication to be able to get into that flow state consistently and be able to, you know, communicate in a great place. And I love what he talks about with it because he put it in a great way. He's like, firstly, you have to know that you're trying to get detached, that you're not caring, you're not doing anything like that. But then you get attached to being detached, and when you know you're not detached, like you know that you're thinking too much about yourself or you're thinking about something, all of a sudden you are out of flow state because you're attached to not being attached. And then once you get attached to not being attached, you get attached to not being attached to attached. You know, it's confusing, but it's like there's so many things that you have to learn. Like for myself, what I had to do is I realized once I felt like the good feeling of being in the flow state and the amazing like high that you get from being in the flow state of like not caring, you're just kind of like flowing, you can say whatever, you can do whatever. When I wasn't feeling that, like when I was feeling tired yesterday, you feel bad. You feel like, oh, like I'm supposed to be in that flow state. And when you start thinking about it, all of a sudden it's not going to allow you to get back into that. But I've noticed before, some of the things that I've done is, even when I'm not in that flow state and I'm feeling a little bit tired or whatever, if I stop worrying about it and I just say like, that's okay. I'm not going to tell myself, oh, it's going to be a bad video today because I'm not in the flow state, I'm not feeling good. And I just detach from it. That is the best place that I could come from. And it honestly, a lot of the times, helps me get into that flow state. So what I really want you to think about is the fact that there's going to be a lot of things that we have to learn in terms of being able to get into this consistently and be our best communicator, get better and better at communication. But it's so amazing once you start to get conscious of it and you get aware of it, because all of a sudden you start realizing like what's taking you out of it. You know, sometimes I'll realize I'm thinking too much about certain things, like should I say something right now or should I just be silent with this person? And because I saw that and how that took me out of the flow state in that moment, I was able to work it through with ChatGPT, and I'm like, okay, I can basically do anything as long as it's coming from a good place. And the next time that I get into that situation, I know it's going to help me be in that flow state because I already have something that helps me not think about that so much, because I know I can just do it from a place of abundance, love, hope, and joy of the Lord. So you might have things that take you out of the flow state, take you out of that good feeling, whether it's crazy because it's not just on a communication basis when you're communicating with somebody, but it's also on a basis of your everyday freaking life, man. It's on a basis of every freaking day that you wake up, you can be in an amazing peak state of flow. If you're not worrying about yourself, if you're not worrying about like, oh, I have all these things to worry about, that's going to take you out of flow on a day-to-day basis. Feeling great, feeling amazing. But it's helping us get into the presence of God, get into the presence of Jesus, knowing that, okay, I felt like I was thinking too much about myself here. I need to put my confidence in Jesus. That's something powerful that had worked for me. Whatever it is for you, maybe you're worrying too much about what's going on at the end of the week. Maybe you're worrying too much about how somebody's going to perceive you in a conversation. Think about how you can place your confidence into the Lord. Think about how you can place your presence in the Lord. Get your presence into the Lord, and it's going to get you into an amazing flow state, whether you're talking with somebody and on an everyday basis when you wake up, because you're going to start to get into that joy of the Lord. That's what we're trying to get into. Not just the peace, but also the joy of the Lord and feeling overwhelmingly amazing every single day we wake up. I love you guys. Hope you guys are doing amazing today, man. We outside today. We having an amazing time. Got some flowers out here. Hope you guys are doing amazing today, man. Let me know down in the comments below how does it feel when you get in a flow state? And have you ever experienced that? What were you doing? Love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day, week. Peace. Peace.